Yo, what's good with y'all, man? Today we got a dark orchestral sample, something perfect for like Wheezy, Future, even Lil Baby. I haven't done an orchestral video in a long time, so I got some techniques that I like to use to make my strings sound a lot more full and make it sound like a real orchestra. So without further ado, we're in the FOP and let's get straight to it. So here we are, I'm gonna be breaking down layer by layer. A lot of these are very simple once you break down each piece. The first layer, I have this SRX orchestra and I'm using this preset right here. You're gonna see me use SRX a lot. I literally just have, one note, literally just one note, duplicated 4 times to stack it and make it sound a lot more full. So yeah, I just have these notes repeating for the second half, so you get the point. It's just that one chord stacked, or it's not even a chord. I have no effects on the actual sound. The preset is doing all the work. It's very wide and it has a lot of like reverb effect to it, so it did that for me. Now for the second melody, I wanted to start adding a little bit of some rhythm. So I went to SRX and I selected this violin preset right here. And it has a very short attack speed, which allows me to create a very catchy pattern that has a lot of rhythm. And I just have this one melody copied over and over. Again, the preset does all the work, added no effects. So moving on to the next sound. I have another SRX orchestra with this violin preset and I have one note playing, and then at the very end I'm creating some tension to make it sound a lot darker by adding a note at the end, at the tail. And then tension is a great way to add a lot of emotion into your samples. I used to think that was really only for dark samples, but it's also used a lot in emotional and melodic type of melodies. Next, I exported that and I copied it down an octave. So it's layered. And like I said, I just did that just to kind of layer it, make it sound a little more full. And then on this one, I have no effects either. Now, even though the first melody is already very wide, I wanted to make it sound a little more full, make it hit a little harder since this original melody had a pretty slow attack. As you see, it's the same thing. I just added a little melody in between for this pattern. And again, a very short attack preset. This is the preset I use. And I wanted to just add these little stabs in between the melody. A lot of these melodies is just one note playing for the whole sample, so I wanted to add these two elements that are crucial to the melody because these are the parts that add that rhythm. Again, the same concept, just with keyscape. On here I have the Unreal Smash piano. I wanted something that was very hard and crunchy. As far as effects, I have a Valhalla on here and I raised the high end. Now for the first section, the last VST I added was Sound Paint, and I wanted to have a lead violin. As you can see, it's basically the same pattern as this one. I went into Sound Paint, I went into the string Adastra Solo Bank, and I picked this solo cello. And I added no effects on here. I wanted it to be a little dry to stand out. Everything was a lot more reverb and wet and it was all blending in together. I wanted this specific preset to be a lot louder and stand out from all the other layers. Lastly, some textures that play for the entire sample. I have this one little like texture of like these chains. You see the name, it says Phasmophobia Ambient. If you've ever played Phasmophobia, you know where this sound is from, but it's basically a horror game that I was playing and I liked the little texture in the background, so I just recorded it and now I use it in my samples a lot of the time. Next, my favorite part, and in my opinion, the most important part of this sample that adds that real orchestra vibe, is this bell that I have playing throughout the whole sample. Now I'm pretty sure you could easily find this bell in any like kits you could go on, but I got this bell from Splice. Here is the name right here. You can search it up, get the same bell. And here I have it playing, and then I copied it and I have this one pitched down 5. To blend it in with the sample, I just added some delay on here, and then I added some Valhalla reverb to make it a lot less dry. I raised the high end so it could have a lot more of a cleaner sound and stand out a little more. And that was pretty much it. The last things I added was for the second section. I added this lead violin and I just added another one over here to complement it and layer it together. So as you can see, when this one cuts off, the second one plays, and this one's a lot more affected. This one has like a lot more delay, reverb, it sounds a lot more wet. For the first one, SRX Orchestra, again, here's the preset, and it's a pretty simple melody. I just wanted to create a little bit of tension on the last 2 notes, so I just added the second note. I feel like it was a little too muddy, so I just pitched it up an octave, and then this added that suspenseful feeling. Some generic reverb, and then just an EQ down here cutting out the lows. And then for the second one, I have SRX Orchestra again. Here's the preset, and I just have this chord playing. As you can see, a very long delay, long reverb. Valhalla, high mix, high decay, and I have a EQ kind of just shaping the sound, and then a long delay as well. And this one, I lowered the volume a little more just so it was blended in the background, and I could let this one be more up front. But that's pretty much it. I came up with this very simple arrangement, just trying to create a new section each 8 bars. I exported that, and this is the final sample. That's pretty much it for the sample. To summarize everything, you really just got to follow 3 simple steps. Have a layer that's very static and full. Have some simple, short, repetitive little stabs to create some rhythm and bounce. Lastly, since everything is very repetitive, you want to add a little more of a complex main melody that is on top of the whole sample. This is usually the loudest element, or the element that the listener is following to. And that's pretty much it. If it still sounds very empty, just layer. After that, just layer different sounds. With that being said, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys did enjoy and learn something new from this video. If you have any other recommendations, leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.